So thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for turning off the royal wedding to watch me talk about DNS. So yeah, this is storing secrets in DNS, and I didn't think this talk would get accepted, but here we go. So this is something that me and a friend of mine have been looking at, and we thought we'll make a little group about it. So that we've got somewhere to share our stuff that we do. So that's the website. It's a WTF domain because .io is like 2017, right? And it was $1 on Namecheap. So DNS records, what are they good for? I'm sure you all know what DNS is, but just in case you don't. So DNS is like the phone book of the internet. You give it a domain name and it gives you the IP so that your computer can actually do some routing and get to wherever you want to go. You can do some fun things with DNS as well that I discovered when I was looking at this. So this is an example. Is that too small? Is that really small? Because if so, I'll zoom in for my next talk. So this is an interesting example where you can do a DNS lookup on a postcode, and it will give you the latitude and longitude of where the postcode is. There's this one, which is like a DNS calculator. Why you would want a DNS calculator when pretty much every system in the world comes with a calculator pre-installed is because by the by, you can do it, so why not do it? I think you see the theme of this talk already. So my favorite thing about DNS is text records. So the kind of premise of text records is you have up to 255 character arbitrary string that you can store against a host. So it's generally used for things like verification and SPF and exchange proofing and all that sort of stuff. So you've seen various things like this in the past. You can do a little bit of investigation into how a site is run based on its text records. So you can maybe assume that security is using Google Analytics or Google Apps for email or something because it's got Google site verification. For the RFC chasers among you, the main DNS one is 1035 and 1464 is more focused on actual text records. The good one for where this talk is going is 4408. So I mentioned that the limit of a text record is 255 characters, but 4408 allows you to concatenate those and make a longer string, so you can store anything you want. The whole works of Shakespeare, if you want. And of course, like everything, there are people that do silly things and Easter eggs. So this is a text record on Google's 8888 DNS server with a link to XKCD, which, like I say, Easter egg, it doesn't serve any purpose other than just Google having a laugh for a change. So the way I took this, or the way we took this, I'll stop saying I, is we both use a VPN provider that doesn't use usernames and passwords and email addresses and that sort of stuff. You log in using a base 64 encoded token, and that's all you have. So it allows you to be more anonymous, which is always good. The tokens last a week. So while that's good for security, it's not very good for, usability. And if I have to change my token every week and it expires after a week and my wife gets upset that the internet stops working at home, it's not very good. So we looked at this, how we could automate this and have it so that every device that we use with these DNS tokens updates itself automatically. And we thought we'd use DNS because why not? So we did this using my two favorite tools, Bash and the Cloudflare API. So how it works is you do the thing and give it your new token. You get a HTTP code back from Cloudflare. You then do a lookup of a text record of the domain. That's not the real one, obviously. And it gives you this shit. and then you have the command which gets that token back, and you get your token. So how it does this is it does a PGP encrypt and then base 64s to get rid of all the additional characters and make it more text record friendly. You'll see here that it's broken down. You see the quote marks. It's broken down into chunks of 255 characters that do get truncated back, thanks to RFC 4408. So the code for it is there. And before I have any questions, I'll just preempt a few FAQs. Is this a completely secure way of doing it? No. Is there a better way of doing it? Probably. Is there an easier way of doing it? Probably. Why would anyone do this? Because. And there was one more that someone's asked me before. Oh yeah, is there a more secure way of doing this? And yeah, there probably is, but it depends on your threat model. VPN tokens aren't the only thing you can store in there, obviously. We've also tried it with, the recover codes for 2FA, other random things. So yeah, that's it. Any questions? Go on.
So have you submitted this to the new CISO Cloudflare CISO as a way to justify data exfiltration?
How do you mean?
Well, the new CISO Cloudflare is the guy who did the Uber, who was with Uber before.
Oh really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
I think you should submit this and get some money.
Really? Well, it's on GitHub now. Anyone can do it. Anything else? Cool. Thank you very much.